Well, good morning, everybody. 11th of October. We're back at it. Out in New York, starting at 17A, heading north, with a goal of hitting Connecticut by the end of the week. We'll see how that goes. We got a nor'easter rolling in. Yay. All right, I'm bouncing between traffic here. I'll talk here in a minute. All right, we're back again. I had to get away from that road. Quite noisy and quite busy. As I was saying, we're back in New York, and well, the goal is to try and get New York done in the next week. So yeah, out for a few days for sure. I did mention that we do have this nor'easter coming in. Of course, everybody is talking it up as, oh my God. We'll find out. Everything I see so far looks as though the storm's going to kick back out to sea once it gets up into the New York area here, out on the coast, I should say. Forecast here is mostly rain, some wind, and I'll deal with that accordingly, or that's the plan at least. And then after that, supposed to be mid 60s or low 70s the rest of the week. Some cloudy days, some sunny days, but essentially all good weather, at least for hiking. So, as the journey begins, so shall we see. Goal today, I think, is 10 miles, and we'll put up at a campsite somewhere along the way. And then tomorrow we should be pushing close to Bear Mountain, and I'm thinking Monday will be Bear Mountain Day. We'll see. Again, all depends on the weather, all depends how I feel, and there you have it. We're moving on, and we're going to keep moving on as long as these two legs can keep moving. All right, y'all have a good day. And as you can tell, we do have some colored foliage, although not very vibrant. Of course, it's not sunny out, it's supposed to be cloudy all day. They are returning. That time of year, before you know it, the white stuff will be here. All right, well, here's your first sneak peek. I did have a little bit of climb to get up here, but it was nothing to speak of. Always, whenever you're coming across, seems like you're coming in through a gap. So, all right, let's get moving on. First view of the day. Here we are, another quick view. I was a little fast on the last one. I had a couple hikers coming up on me, and they'll be doing the same here shortly. Some kind of cat down below. Been yelling on out. I don't think it's a bobcat, but it's hard to say. Maybe a lynx. Who knows? All right, moving on. We're going somewhere in this direction, it appears. So, not getting anywhere. So we're gonna get moving on. There's really no rocks in New York. Moving on. That's where we're going. This is where we came from. That outcrop over there is what we crossed a little while ago. And yeah, we're up there. All right, let's get moving on. Well, here we are. So far, so good. Not a bad day at all. Temperature is perfect. In fact, if it were a little cooler, it wouldn't bother me. I think the high day is supposed to be 65. So which is nice hiking weather for sure. But it's still warm. I'm hoping to find water along the way. I know I'm going to have plenty of it in the next 2 days, but for today, I'm going to need to camel up at the spots I find water, because I'm sure there isn't much. I've already crossed a couple of streams, or what would be streams, dry as a bone. Coming up on Fitzgerald's Falls, I'm hoping that somewhere around there I can find some water there. Fingers crossed, as I said. Where I'm going tonight, or where I plan to go, and even if I don't get to where I plan to go, I'm sure it's going to be a dry camp tonight, other than the water I got on my back. So conservation is key. Yep. All right. Well, oops. Jeez. As you can see, we're doing a little downhill here. For a little ways. And of course, if you're going down somewhere, you're going back up somewhere else. So, all right. Look at me. He's describing I can't even hold the camera right. As you can see, we do have some color. A little early yet, but still. And there's some leaves on the ground. I wasn't really expecting a lot of color just because of the drought that's been on. So, all right, we're gonna get moving on. Here we are at Fitzgerald's Falls. That's basically non-existent. This is the only water at the top of the falls. That's it. Got an oily residue in it. But other than that, pretty much dry as a bone. Yeah, until tomorrow, I guess. Not that I'll know, because I'm moving on. Somewhere over there. Sometimes you gotta love the AT. So I come across the tops of those rocks over there. Come on across. And we got to where it starts to drop off there, and then it comes down through here. So rock's done. Down a little gully, back up again. Yeah. All right, moving on. Well, I've been looking for water, but yeah, I'm passing this one up too. I think I'm going to do the beaver water instead. I can see a film on the top of this, oily film. So who knows what's in there. I'll take my chances with beavers. But there you have it. And it is starting to rain just a little bit, but not bad. Not enough to put on rain gear. All right, we're moving on. We're almost to our destination. Yeah, always at the tail end of the day. Had to come on up that mess. Yep. But it's done. I just love how at the end of the day it throws the wicked stuff at you. We got a little bit more climb to do here, but I think once I'm over this, the rest of the day is pretty much on the flatter downhill, so all good news. Still got to gather some water, and then it's to the tent site. And we're almost there, a couple miles. Let's get moving on. Well, there's the view. Enjoy it. Because I'm pretty sure I ain't getting much of anything tomorrow or some Monday. This here is not too bad. All right, moving on. Oh, this one's even better. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's where we're heading. This is where we came from down here.